Hi everyone, my name is Pollyanna Dorough, and some of you may know me as the sister of Howie D from the Backstreet Boys. Love you, Howie. Anyhow, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Now that a lot of us are on the internet a lot more during this terrible epidemic, might be a good time for me to pay it forward by sharing with you my personal health challenges as a diabetic and my journey of healing. I hope to enlighten type 1 diabetics about the wonderful opportunity that's available for all of us to live a long and productive life without diabetes. I really encourage you to please listen to my entire testimonial and to share this video with anyone that you know who is suffering from diabetes. Well, my story begins on February 7th, 2014. I had a pancreas-only transplant. That's right, 6 years ago, I had a pancreas transplant, and now I am no longer diabetic. That's right. Because for 21 years, I was a type 1 brittle diabetic. And the crazy thing is, I became diabetic at the age of 30. They call it a late onset of juvenile diabetes. It's important for you to know that I wasn't born with diabetes, and I wasn't overweight either. But at that point in my life, I was living in New York, and I had a lot of stress going on in my personal life, which lowered my immune system, and I got really, really sick. It felt like a really bad flu. And I didn't realize at that time that the virus was actually attacking my pancreas. You know what? I became legally blind and lost so much weight. I actually went down to 95 pounds, and I am 5 feet 6 inches tall. Anyhow, that's how I became diabetic. As the saying goes, stress can kill you. Is very true, and it almost killed me. That was around the same time when the Backstreet Boys had gotten together. Oh, I remember when they first came to New York, they were looking for a record label deal. And I remember because that was the very first time when I actually met the rest of the guys, Kevin and AJ, Brian, and Nick, and anyhow, that's another story for another video. Focus, Pollyanna. Okay, well, I was a very compliant diabetic, always watching what I ate, counting my carbs, and staying away from the unhealthy foods. I wore an insulin pump, a sensor, and I was still having to take shots to help control my insulin and sugar levels. I also was downloading graphs of my sugar levels from the insulin pump and the sensor for my endocrinologist to review at my routine office visits. And in addition to that, I kept a daily log of everything that I ate throughout the entire day and any physical activity or exercise that would have affected my sugar levels. Being a type 1 diabetic is a full-time job. Well, my endocrinologist, Nikita Drew from Melbourne, Florida, was very, very impressed of my efforts and felt that I would be an excellent candidate for a pancreas transplant. She suggested Miami's Transplant Institute in Miami, Florida, probably because that's where she went to school. Anyhow, apparently they are one of the best hospitals for a pancreas transplant in the nation, and they even have a diabetes research center. And I hear that they are presently working on making an artificial pancreas. Amazing! What will they think of next? And for your information, there are many other credible transplant hospitals in Florida and throughout the United States to perform organ transplants. Miami just happens to be the hospital that I was referred to. Anyhow, I had completed and passed all of my tests and was approved by the board of directors to become a candidate for a pancreas transplant. I was on the transplant list for about 8 months before I received my pancreas from a young man who actually died from a motorcycle accident on February 7th, 2014. You know, many thanks to God, my donor, and his family, and my wonderful surgeon, Dr. Gaetano Ciancio. You know, I'm no longer diabetic, and I feel awesome. No more pricking the fingers for blood checks for my sugar levels, and no more wearing an insulin pump. No more packing or forgetting to bring my insulin supplies. No more strict diets, although a diabetic diet is a very healthy diet. You know, I'm no longer a songbird trapped in a bird cage, because God showed me the way. Now I can spread my wings and enjoy all of what life has to offer. I would highly recommend a pancreas transplant to any other type 1 diabetic. You know, not many people realize that you can get a pancreas transplant only without having to get a kidney transplant too. As a matter of fact, my kidneys are in excellent condition. And if you are interested in getting a pancreas transplant, you will need to consult your endocrinologist first to begin the process, you know. And there will be a number of tests that you'll have to undergo to make sure that you're physically and mentally ready to be a transplant recipient. You know, you need to be a very compliant and responsible person to take care of a new organ in your body. You know, part of the responsibilities of having a transplant organ is that you have to take anti-rejection medications twice a day for the rest of your life. You know what? It's not that bad. I like to set an alarm on my cell phone to help me remember to take them at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. You know, oh, you'll also need to get blood work done every month so that your doctor can monitor your organs and any changes in your body. But having blood work done every month has also been very helpful for me to see how much the Juice Plus capsules have been improving my blood work since taking them for about the past year. Oops. Okay. Here I go again. All right, that's another conversation for another video. Wow, I've got a lot of videos to make. Anyhow, the recuperation time after a transplant could be as little as 2 weeks, depending on each individual. My new pancreas has been a blessing and is responding very, very well with my body. I feel like a normal person again. It's very important for people to know that transplant operations are covered through your health insurance, even including the Affordable Care Act, or as they call it, the healthcare.gov. I hope that all of this information has been helpful to you, or maybe for someone else that you might know, love, or just care about. But once again, I encourage you to please share this video to anyone that you know that has diabetes. And if you have any questions or concerns about anything that I've shared with you, well, please feel free to send me a private message, you know. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen, and may God bless you always, and have a wonderful day. Bing bong.